Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. I see people already participating in the chat. It's wonderful. It's wonderful to be able to come here and have you people to talk to tell you about things like whether the world is going to end soon, whether God hates Los Angeles, whether it was caused by gay people, the fire. I was going to search how many people think that it is a sign of the end. I'm sure there are many. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to think about it together. So good to see you guys. Pirate says, happy Thursday. Thirsty Thursday. Can't believe it. The way time works is so strange. Well, because it keeps going faster. It's weird that way. We're going to have been broadcasting for 10 years. Jesus. For 10 years doing this. This year, 2025. So what other things are going to happen this year that we can't predict? So far, relatively eventful. We're keeping with the alien theme today. And some people mentioned DEWs. Joaquin and Grace Ferrer. Okay. We have people on the ground in Southern California. I'm on the ground in California. I could drive down there, genuinely, but I probably can't bring you better images than already exist. I don't have a drone, for example. So, many structures burned. Not that many people died so far, which is good. So people are really giving California a hard time, as if California itself, or the government people, are to blame for these fires, which started because it gets really windy in Southern California, and I think in Northern California too. These things called Santa Ana winds come through, and they just blow the shit out of everything. So I don't know if, the fires might have been started by DEWs. It's possible. Someone says there's video. So if there is, I'll try to find it, of DEWs starting the fires. I'll look it up right now, as a matter of fact. So, okay. There's other news today. I have other news today. It was President Carter's funeral. I was tuned in for it. Some of the speeches were somewhat moving. It was very interesting. These people wrote eulogies for him before he died because they were going to die first, which is really crazy. Like I couldn't even. A few people, Ford, and that was a good speech. Ford wrote, I guess he died a while ago. He wrote a eulogy for Carter before he died a while ago. It was pretty good. I mean, it was really good. So yeah, people gave Carter a hard time. He was like an environmentalist. Well, somehow he believed in climate change before anybody. I thought climate change was invented in 1989 when somebody spoke about it in front of Congress. But apparently Jimmy Carter was thinking about it too. That's not the best part of his legacy. He didn't like Hail to the Chief being played when he came out. He didn't like the pomp and circumstance. He was a farmer. And apparently lived in like relatively modest accommodations. So all in all, people say he was a good guy, and now he's dead. just like all of us will be one day. So I'll show you video from the funeral that people are commenting about, because Obama and Trump had like a really cordial conversation. They were yucking it up together. Just shows you. I remember Michelle Obama was like, this might be the last election if Trump wins. Well, but anyway, Michelle didn't come to the funeral. So Obama was there. Trump was there with Melania. Kamala was there with Doug. And Obama was there by himself. Some people say because of marital issues, because of husband-wife issues, like she's pissed off at him. I can imagine, like I can kind of imagine their relationship. Like if they disagree about something, but rich people problems, right? So anyway, Obama was there and yes, yucked it up with Trump. And then Trump shook hands with Pence, which people thought was notable. George W. Bush was there, and George W. Bush walked right past Trump and didn't shake hands with him. So like all the presidents were there at this funeral. So 100 years old. That's really long time, but I suggest it's going to become more normal. Well, shoot, I don't know. Our age, or like our actual life expectancy is going down. Like something hates us. That should not be happening. We should be smarter than that. But 100 years, that's about the maximum. And he was in a thing at the end. He wasn't really with it. Didn't seem like when he went to vote for Kamala. But he did peace between Egypt and Israel, which I guess was good. So that happened today. I'll show you some of that. I'll show you some of Fetterman that I was going to show you yesterday. And I'll show you clips from the fires. All right. You guys good? All right. Let's get started. Okay. Cue musical intro. Boy, that's brilliant. I do think some things in the world are real. Like you guys. You guys are real. Most of you. Most of my listeners, I think, are not just in my head. I think I have the metrics to prove it. You've taken a leap of faith today. What is that sound? And I apologize if you take offense. I'm a little offended myself. Welcome to our show. Welcome to the future. What it is. Joining you live from sunny California. It's a beautiful day today. I'm your host, Nathan Stoltman. And I bring you the news, the real news. Yeah, I've been trying to look up DEWs. What do you guys, what's your conspiracy theory about 9/11? How do you think they destroyed those buildings? Some people say it was directed energy weapons. Dr. Judy Wood pointed out how columns turned to dust, which was very strange, which I didn't think explosions could account for. It was very strange. So I'm not sure what to believe. And then cars burned far away from the towers themselves. For some reason, cars were burned out on bridges, like not close. Very strange ritual that happened that day. We require ritual. We require ritual events to keep us set in the proper timeline, I believe. Teddy says it was thermite. Yeah. Yes. Well, if you believe the guys from architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth, they actually found thermite dust in the damn stuff. Really insane. Do people know about it? Because people talk about it more. There's something about the passage of time where you're allowed to talk about conspiracies more, like with JFK, for example. Well, they did talk about it right away, but it becomes more acceptable the longer between the event. So 9/11, yeah, like what do people think? Like our government could actually do that to us and kill a bunch of people. But what do you think of the planes? Do you think the planes were really there? Do you think an aluminum plane can penetrate a building that's made out of steel and concrete on the outside? Yeah, it's possible. Penetrate it like it's a hot knife going through butter, or somebody diving into a swimming pool. Just boom. Amazing. Really amazing. So what about this fire though, huh? Do you think they're trying to burn people down? I think Alex Jones says it's part of a conspiracy to, kill people, keep us something. Alex Jones right now says Democrat treason confirmed. Treason. Well, again, fortunately, praise God, very few fatalities so far, we believe. Hap Hauser, thank you. Says, hope you're out of harm's way in LA. I am. But places like Studio City was on fire apparently today. That was pretty close to where I lived. Oh, in Pasadena. Yeah, I lived in Pasadena. Yeah, there's fire there. So it is kind of crazy, but I'm not there now. I'm far away. Well, relatively closer than you, maybe. But we don't even have smoke here. I remember it gets very apocalyptic when LA is burning, or the hills around LA are burning, because ash falls from the sky. And it's like everything's kind of red. It's really weird. So yeah, I've been there for some fires. There was a big fire near Northridge when I was there. I remember going to like the Northridge Mall, and it was like smoke, ash. It's pretty wild. But it's just, God doing his thing, apparently. We have burning here. Things have burned for many times. They say Prometheus brought fire, but he brought it to humans with technology. So many people probably worship something like Prometheus now, a god of technology. Here is, one reason why the fires might have started.
Yes, I can hear you. So the family with the poor little girl who was
Fire happening right now.
Say that again.
Why is there fire happening right now?
There are multiple fires that are taking place.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You're in the news though. You're supposed to know.
Well, I don't know how it started. We don't know how it started. There,
I think
winds.
it's all the gay people in LA.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
We got the
Unacceptable. Gina, yes, I can hear you. So the family.
Unacceptable. You can't say that. I think it's all the gay people in LA, I say. What do you think? It's possible. It's possible. I mean, if you believe that God punishes people, but why? Why must we suffer? Why must things burn? I'm trying to find out how many people predict this is a sign of the apocalypse. Let's see. Jesus said he was coming back. But he said he was coming back a long time ago. So what do you guys think about that? Are there going to be fires before he comes? Or which biblical destruction story are you to believe? Many people describe apocalyptic scenes. Apocalyptic scenes. Most of the news stories do. Okay. But seriously, will he come back as a person or as a some kind of, how will he come back? I'm curious when it happens. Because we're told, shit's possible pretty much any day now. Are we in a time that's ready for that? Like, do we need saving? Or do we have humans to do that? Okay, here's Newsom standing in front of the fire, and he's told the fire hydrants don't have any water, and he's like, oh, the local folks will figure that out. He basically just doesn't take any responsibility for that. Oops. I'm not showing you. I'm not showing you the right tab. Okay, here we go.
What is the situation with the water? Obviously, in the Palisades ran out last night in the hydrants. I was trying to firefighter on this block. They left because there was no water in the hydrant here.
The local folks are trying to figure that out. I mean, just when you have a system that's not dissimilar to what we've seen in other extraordinarily large-scale fires, whether it be pipe, electricity, or whether it just be the complete overwhelm of the system. I mean, those hydrants are typical for 2 or 3 fires, maybe 1 fire. You have something at this scale, but again, that's going to be determined by the local.
What is the situation with the water?
So Donald Trump is calling for him to resign and to start pumping water down the river that's being pumped out to the ocean now, which I think would be an amazing result if that happens. So let's see if I have Donald Trump's tweet about him. His truth. I have more Gavin Newsom. I have Gavin Newsom pretending to be on a phone call with the president to not talk to somebody. And then he gets totally caught doing it by Sky News. So totally gets caught pretending to be on the phone. So check this out.
Governor, you got a second? Governor, I live here, Governor. That was my daughter's school, Governor. Please tell me what you're going to do. I'm not going to hurt him, I promise.
I'm literally talking to the president right now to specifically answer the question of what we can do for you and your daughter.
Can I hear it? Can I hear your call? Because I don't believe it.
I'm sorry. There's literally, I've tried 5 times. That's why I'm walking around.
Why is the president not taking your call?
Because it's not going through. So
Why?
I have to get cell service.
So let's get it. Let's get it. I want to be here when you call the president.
I appreciate it. I'm doing that right now. And it's to immediately get reimbursements, individual assistance, and to help you. I'm devastated for you. I'm so sorry, especially for your daughter. I have 4 kids. Losing
Everyone who went to school there, they lost their homes. They lost 2 homes because they were living in one and building another. Governor, please tell me, what are you going to do with the president right now?
We're getting the resources to help rebuild.
Why was there no water in the hydrants, Governor?
Is he AI, do you
Is
think?
it going to be different next time?
What do you think
It has to be.
generally?
Of course.
What are you going to
about our leaders.
to fill the
Hos-
hydrants?
you
I
know
would fill
that
them up
there's a movie
personally.
They
You know that.
Live. Some people say that's real. Do you think there are some of our leaders are just or alien? Well, kind of aliens or some version of AI. I think aliens and AI are somehow related. Do you think he's a real person? Be like that MFer right there. He's not real. Like, do you think that person on the plane had a point? Do you think there are people walking around that just don't that aren't human? Whatever that might be. You think Gavin Newsom might be one of those? And then he wears the aviators just like Biden. You think that covers their lizard identity? I just wonder. I really wonder. Like, did David Icke have a point about the lizard people? Let's see. Many hydrants don't have water. There's a lot of that. Here's reporters roasting the mayor. The mayor is getting roasted. She was in Africa. And I guess it was kind of predictable because there were going to be big winds and stuff was dry. So, this is the news roasting the mayor a little bit, I believe.
CBS News for Mayor Bass, please. Mayor, LA County is in a panic state. It began 2 days ago with the Palisades fire. My crew and I arrived shortly after it started. And for several hours, we watched as hundreds of homes in a neighborhood burned to the ground. We did not see a single fire engine. We watched as Good Samaritans guided traffic. There was fear and there was a lot of confusion. You were out of the country at the time. Shortly after the fire started, a press release was put out warning of this fire behavior. My question to you is, what explains this lack of preparation and rapid response?
Let me just say, first and foremost, my number one focus, and I think the focus of all of us here with one voice, is that we have to protect lives, we have to save lives, and we have to save homes. Rest assured that when rest assured, let me finish. Rest assured, when that is done, when we are safe, when lives have been saved and homes have been saved, we will absolutely do an evaluation to look at what worked, what didn't work, and to correct or to hold accountable any body, department, individual, etc. But my focus right now is on the lives and on the homes.
Do you think your leadership was effective while responding to this disaster?
I just said what I believe is the most important thing for us to do right now, and that is going to continue to be my focus. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So there's like nobody there. It is kind of like criticizing the military during wartime, but the one positive, I believe, is that there aren't many dead people so far, apparently. So they have either had a good evacuation strategy or the people were just extra vigilant or something. But obviously people left before their homes burned down, which is good. So somebody was responsible for that, possibly in the government. So we don't want to give them no credit at all. But apparently there weren't fire trucks there. And then when there were, they weren't. They didn't have water. There's video of people using handbags. Apparently fire people using like handbags to dump water on fire. Let me see. Fire bag. Let's see. Yeah. And they've prioritized female fire people. Yeah. Oops. Hold on. I'll show you this. So this is the handbag thing. Yeah, he's using bag.
It's fucking taking off back here. Oh, the building's done.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I guess that's real. Or people are curious if it's true. If it's what's really happening now, but that's what people say. Joaquin and Grace Ferrer makes a great point. Very old school technology. Yep. Here's Trump. Here's what Trump said. Governor Gavin Newsom should immediately. Scum is a bad word, actually, if you know what it means. Governor Gavin Newsom should immediately go to Northern California and open up the water main and let the water flow into his dry, starving, burning state instead of having it go out to the Pacific Ocean. It ought to be done right now. No more excuses from this incompetent governor. It's already far too late. So it is like open season on Gavin Newsom right now. That's what I'm saying. And the LA mayor too. Oh, okay. And Adam Carolla claims that Democrats will lose because of this. So I'll play that clip. Oh, yeah, it's like 5 minutes. But people have been sharing this clip. So Adam Carolla lives in LA and he got evacuated. So anyway, this is his hypothesis, I guess, on what's going to happen as a result of the fires. So to LA people.
The guys who lost their $20 million homes on the ocean side of PCH will be knee deep in the permit process. They will be trying to pull permits when the guys in the Winnebagos will have been back for months before those guys ever get a permit. As a matter of fact, good fucking luck, because here's the deal. Alan Hamill and Suzanne Summers moved because they could not get a permit to rebuild their home of 40 years on the ocean on PCH, right? So here's what's going to happen. Let me just give you guys a little primer of what's going to happen. You know how Bill Maher seems real conservative now when he's like arguing with Jane Fonda about regulations, too many regulations, like strangling everything? Because remember, when Bill Maher tried to put solar in his house in Beverly Hills, that's when he turned against the government, because he saw what the government and the overreach of government and overregulation does. He got strangled. It took him 3 years to build a solar shack. He had a whole countdown on his show, you know, day 1,000 since I've got my permit for my solar. He turned. Okay. The people who live in Malibu, who live in Santa Monica, who live in the Palisades, those are some of the most progressive blue voters in the world, or in the United States. They are a bastion of blue. So what those guys did is, all the people in the Palisades, I checked it out. It's about 80% blue, 80% progressive, 80% Democrat. Now, these pussies are all sitting around crying about Karen Bass, water pressure. How come the forest wasn't cleared of all the brush? What's happening with the infrastructure? You guys all voted for Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles. You all voted for Gavin Newsom. And now you fucking get what you get. Oh, now that your house is on fire, well, now you're thinking about something else. Now you want to know what's going on. What's going on around here? You didn't give a shit about what was going on when other people's houses were on fire, but now you care. So here's what's going to happen. All these people who were deep blue Democrats are now going to have to pull a permit to rebuild. And they're going to get the 28-year-old bitch from the Coastal Commission telling them to go fuck off. And then they're going to vote for Trump or whoever's Trumpian next. You see, they're going to get turned. They're going to get turned hard because, as I've always said, live in the rent control apartment in Santa Monica, fine, good. We know how you vote. Go deal with the city. Try to pull a permit. These are going to be thousands of homes, super wealthy people, and these people don't want to live in Van Nuys. They like it where they are. They love Malibu. They love the Palisades. They love Santa Monica. There's going to be a whole bunch of rich people, and they're going to go, I'm rebuilding, and I want to rebuild as fast as I can. And between the part where they go in to the planning commission and plan check and initially and try to pull a permit to the time the first load of lumber, the first load of 2x4s is dropped off on their lot where their house formerly stood, it's going to be 3 years and 1,000 permits and 1,000 arguments and 1,000 discussions with the Coastal Commission, not to mention little tidbits that they didn't think about, like Carson Daly. You want a swimming pool? Yep. Got to be double hulled. Really? Yeah. Well, why? Well, what if water leaches out and gets into the groundwater table? Carson Daly had to build a swimming pool like a modern day oil tanker. Had to put like a double hulled. That's all right. It'll just cost $500,000 for a swimming pool. Like that. They're going to be, when they start getting the regulation, they're going to go nuts. And when they start running into the bureaucracy and the red tape, they're going to start going nuts, and they're going to vote for Rick Caruso next time because they want to get. That's all Trump says is we're going to pull back the regulations. We're going to free people up. They're going to find out. They're going to get bit by their own snake. They're going to convert. I am telling you, these are the bluest people on the planet, and they're going to be fucking ripshit pissed when the city and the Coastal Commission tell them to fuck off. And by the way, I don't think the Coastal Commission is going to okay anyone rebuilding any of their houses on the coast because they say they're in the business of protecting the coast. They're in the business of getting you to leave. They will get their wish, which is no buildings. And they're going to make it hard for everyone. And then we're going to have to restructure the whole thing because we can't have 9 angry lesbians controlling everything that goes on in Malibu, the Palisades, and Santa Monica.
So there you go. It is. I mean, the rebuilding is going to be insane. The houses are worth a fortune, and houses burned all the way down to the beach. I have video of that. So this appears to be possibly Malibu on PCH literally on the ocean. The houses burned down, which is crazy. The most valuable real estate. Completely burned down. Cars burned. This is crazy. I would just never think the fire could jump PCH and then get near the ocean. It's just completely small. So yeah, those people, you would think they'd want to rebuild. I was going to check the insurance companies. I'm curious if the insurance companies are having a bad time because this is going to be huge losses for them. For anybody that was insured for fire, which would be, I would think, almost everyone. It's going to be a huge hit. So, and then, who knows what happens to costs after that. So I showed you Adam Carolla. I showed you that. I showed you, I'm going to show you this. This is female. There's a female firefighter saying it's okay. I think saying it's okay that they can't do the things men can do, basically. Like it's your fault anyway for being on fire, pretty much.
You want to see somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire, which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
That's a pretty good response, huh? Only about 5% of working firefighters are women. They have to pass extremely difficult tests. They have to like carry a body up many flights of stairs, possibly several times in a row. And then they have to carry hose and stuff. It's very physically demanding. So if their goal is for, I mean, it's like very hard for women to do it, period. So if they're making it so more women can do it, and then they're like that person, they're like, hey dude, like your fault. So don't blame me because I can't perform my duties as a firefighter. Don't blame me. It's not my fault. But yeah, you can pretty much guarantee they lower their physical standards for women as far as like how much weight they have to carry. Okay, I'm trying to decide what else to show you. I can show you, the UAP, of course. Some kind of UAP sighting facing the ocean, near the ocean. So oh, there. Yes, I see it. This thing here. It's really flying around. You ever wonder why UFOs are all bright? Like they could fly around with their lights off. If they really didn't want to be seen much. But yeah, look at this guy. He comes out of the water, goes nuts. God, wind is terrible. Yeah, he's just totally going nuts out there. Very strange. Oops. So that's the UAP portion of the show for today. I believe that's all I have. I looked up DEWs. Couldn't find a convincing video, unfortunately. I was going to show you some Fetterman. Oh, okay. So yeah, here's a clip from the Carter funeral where Kamala Harris sees Trump and Obama having a nice conversation with each other. Apparently, she wasn't particularly cordial with Joe Biden when she was there. They were not cordial with each other, they say. Here's video of she's there with Dougie. Here, check this out. Did she already look at him? See, they're having a long conversation. Did she already look at him? Probably. I missed it. Oh, yeah. She gives like a big sigh. She turns around. What do they say? They say it's a big club, right? I don't know. Here's more video of Trump and Obama talking.
Most of them were in the same room was in 2018 at the funeral of George H.W. Bush. President Trump was in office then. One person missing. This is Michelle Obama. Most of them.
So, George W. Bush, I'm curious if he's taking adrenochrome. Nancy Pelosi was seen with a walker. I had that video. Nancy Pelosi was seen with a walker casting a vote. Okay, so, changing topics. Trump says he wants Canada to be part of America. He wants to rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. And definitely thinks we should take Greenland. So, and I think he won't rule out taking it by force. I'm not sure. So it looks like we might get Greenland, which is kind of cool. I mean, I wonder what would happen there. We did buy Alaska. Now Alaska has stuff. I wonder if Greenland has some good stuff in it. Minerals, oils, things like that. Then you could pay people to move there. That'd be cool. Maybe to work in mines or something. They could make it a Bitcoin domicile. Whatever. Sounds kind of exciting. Greenland looks really big on a map. Is it really that big? Or I think it isn't. I think I've learned that. I think it's not as big as it looks on the map. Because the further north you go, for some reason, well, I guess it's because of curvature, I guess, supposedly. Things get bigger on the map. So Greenland is not quite as big as it looks, but it's still a very big thing covered with ice. Yeah, that's the way it appears. Wonder what it's got going for it. Trump says we need it for national security reasons. So, and then Canada's very big, but I don't know how many people it has. How many people live in Canada? Do you guys want to know? How many people? Okay, let's see. 40 million people. I think about that many people live in Los Angeles. How many people live in Los Angeles? Oh, only 4 million? No. That can't be right. The greater LA area has like 20 million people or something. Well, Canada's a big place to take as one state. But I don't know if Trump's totally serious about it. He's maybe trying to get some kind of deal. And he wants to take back the Panama Canal. So anyway, Fetterman is not opposed to that, basically. So anyway, here's Fetterman talking about it.
There's a lot of talk about Greenland, for example. Now, and I know there's a lot of freakouts, and of course I would never support taking it by force. But I do think it's a responsible conversation if they were open to acquiring it and whether just buying it outright. I mean, if anyone think that's bonkers, it's like, well, remember the Louisiana Purchase? Oh, I think Alaska was a great deal too. $50 million, I think it was. It was referred to as Seward's Folly, and now that was Alaska now. So, I mean, open to having all kinds of conversations as well. And now I don't think it's not helpful to freak out, but some things might work out, some may not, but that's part of an ongoing dialogue. But he hasn't even taken office in 2 weeks. And, we really need to pace ourselves if we're going to freak out over every last tweet or every last conversation or press conference. Because, but
that's good. That's a good one, John. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, we are here to work together.
Yeah.
And some things we can agree or disagree. But I think that's how DC works.
So there you go. He's going to cooperate. Apparently, he's going to vote for Tulsi and RFK Jr., which is kind of cool too. I really thought he was dumb. I thought he was fucked up from his brain injury. And then he had depression, remember? Then he came back wearing a hoodie and he's like all fixed, which actually gives you hope for humanity, for all of us. Like if we can recover from being retarded and actually be reasonable, be cool, that's hopeful for all of us. So yeah, I really couldn't believe people were going to vote for him because he was so messed up in the head. Thanks, Teddy. Oh, I forgot to set a goal. I was going to, but now the show's almost over. I'll still set a goal for Super Chats. Thanks for tuning in. Great to see you guys. Glad you're not on fire right now. I bet it's a terrible way to die. Thanks, Teddy. What do you think's worse? Drowning? Drowning, I think eventually you just pass out, I believe, as like a safety mechanism, so you don't so you don't breathe. I think. Don't know. Fire, terrible. Thanks, Teddy. Who says Fetterman has done total 360 for Trump? I wonder if you mean 180. Well, unless he started off being sort of Trumpy. Maybe you mean a 180. Okay, hold on. I'll set a goal. Let's see. For praise. You're doing it for praise. But I'm only going to be here for a little while longer, I think. We're here to document humans. We're here to study them, to see what's going on in this matrix, like to see how things work. That's what we're here for. We want to know more. We want to know more. We want to know the mechanics of how this thing is built. Okay, so here's Fetterman saying that he would be cool with some of the nominees, possibly. So
is this Tulsi Gabbard one of the nominees that you could vote for?
Well, I met with her. In fact, I think I've met with virtually all of them. And the ones that I haven't, they're on my schedule, RFK and Governor Newsom. So I'm happy to meet with all of them. And that's also part of this. I don't know why that was controversial. I mean, I got a lot of blowback just, even to meet with them. And to me, I see that as just doing my job. And I'm going to have a conversation with anyone that would like to have a conversation with me. And if someone believed everything that's been written or said about me was true, I mean, you can't possibly know me, or I think I could know her either, just based on someone read. But I want to sit down and have a conversation, and I'm really glad that I've done that. And some of these nominees I'm going to vote for already. In fact, whether it's our colleague Rubio, Representative Stefanik, or even Sean Duffy, I expect to vote for him as well too, and Brooke Rollins for agriculture. Yeah. So there's a lot of them I can say right now here on Fox. I'm going to vote for them. But then there's others, but that we're going to go through the process. But I'm open to hear from everyone, and I don't know why that's controversial. And I also would like to remind everyone on the Democratic side, that's the way democracy works. Trump won, and now they're going to run the table. And so they get to pick those kinds of people. And if you don't have to agree with all of it, but I want to find a way to work together on a bunch of them.
And I want to commend him on that.
There you go. She's really kissing his ass there on Fox News. She's like, oh, dude, you're awesome. Thanks, Tetragrammaton Ghost. Tetragrammaton refers to the 4-letter thing. It has some kind of magical power, huh? Like Yahweh. There are other things that are 4 letters long. There is something to that, like NASA. You'd have to explain the significance of it. Why your tetragrammaton ghost? Very interesting name. All right, we're going to find out. I'm going to make it my mission. We're going to find out what's really going on here. We have fires in Los Angeles right now. We had some terrorist attacks. The one was really interesting. Kind of faded out of the news already. The guy who said he had secret information about drones, he said other people could confirm it. So, like, we might have some kind of advanced technology, gravity tech. If we can get to other planets, that technology seems like it would be valuable. So, he claims we have, what did he call them? Some kind of gravitational propulsion craft that we own, that we possess that technology and can deploy it. And have been. And China's doing it right now to make fun of us or to just show us that they're better than us. You know? So there are weapons now that can destroy humanity. Like Russia developed one that nobody could shoot down with any of the technology that's currently around. Even technology maybe we don't know about. So they have a weapon that can deliver a nuclear payload really fast. But we've been able to blow each other up for a long time. And so far we haven't done it. Which I propose is, because people are like, oh, well, people retaliate. The mutually assured destruction thing. People thought the drones were looking for a dirty bomb in New Jersey. Some people say nuclear bombs aren't real, but it seems like nuclear power is real. We're going to get to the bottom of a lot of things. I have a feeling this year we're going to try. So anyway, I think that's the news, to be honest. Bitcoin's still not doing great, which means, you can buy it for less than you otherwise would have. Less than it probably is worth right now. 92,856. So one of the problems we have in this world is bad money. We have bad money since 1971, and things have gotten a lot worse since 1971. So we've had bad money for a long time. If we fix the money, then many problems can be fixed. It may cause chaos, but many problems could be fixed. This is what Bitcoin offers, possibly for everyone, with satellite internet, which people are using now in the fires. Elon offered some free satellite internets there. So that's like the only way they can some of the news people are broadcasting with Starlink. So Starlink is all over in the sky, independent of Earth, independent of power grid. I don't know where it gets its internet. It must get its internet from somewhere on Earth, I guess. But everybody can connect mobile phone, wallet, and they can transact. And something that's that can't be controlled by governments, which control the currency because they, just because it's easier than taxing us. That's the thing. They're like, oh, but we still want to spend money, but people don't like taxes. So we'll just tax them a way that they won't think about as much. We'll say, oh, we want stability. 3% inflation is good for everyone. Or 2%, they say. We'll destroy the value of your savings by 2% every year, which compounds until it's completely worthless. And they say that's like the worst possible thing would be deflation, which means dollars would get stronger. So it's never going to happen. And meanwhile, they fund they print the money and then they do it, whatever they want, and we pay for it. That prices go up on everything. So if we don't have something like Bitcoin or gold or real estate, we're fucked. Or stocks, for that matter, the S&P 500. You're pretty much fucked. Like you're losing value all the time. And they're going to do it until we just start dying. They're just going to squeeze us to death, pretty much. Everything's just going to get more expensive. If you don't own things that are desirable and somewhat limited, you're pretty much fucked forever. And that's what the system demands. Your sacrifice. Like you are a sacrifice to the gods. So if we can fix that problem, many things will be better. So that's why I talk about Bitcoin sometimes. Trilogy. Oh, yeah. People can ask me questions. Let's see. Trilogy says, would you leave the country if someone gave you $500,000, just $500,000? It's an interesting question. You can live many places in the world for far less than here in the United States. And let's say you made some money from the internet, just from the internet, like, let's say getting super chats or something. Let's say that was somewhat more significant. You could live somewhere else with the internet and survive for much less. So $500,000, it's just not much money. It's just not much money. It'd be gone very quickly. So you'd have to have some kind of scheme. You have to wait, pretty much. The Bitcoin thing, pretty much you just have to invest your money and wait. You have to wait and wait and wait. You can't spend it because it's going to grow and grow and grow. But you have to live. That's the problem with Bitcoin or any other investment, is like, in order to profit, you have to survive for perhaps years. And we have no idea. We are mortal. We could die any day. So, but yes, the thing you should do is just buy some Bitcoin periodically at whatever price it's at. Eventually you'll be okay. So, but yes, Teddy says you need a balanced portfolio and income coming in. Yes, income is an issue. Yeah, either that or you have to be put in a deep freeze. I was thinking about that. I was like, how could you, I think in the future, the amount of Bitcoin I have will be a substantial sum of US dollars, will be worth a substantial sum of US dollars. But in the meantime, I must survive. If I didn't want to work, let's say, I could go into a deep freeze and be awakened when I'm rich. So I was thinking that. Or you could commit a terrible crime and go to jail for a while, and they could feed you. You'd have a bed and stuff, which isn't that bad. And then when you get out, you're rich. So I've been thinking about those possibilities, like Bitcoin, like a Bitcoin space camp kind of, but you go into a deep freeze for a year, for however many years you decide. Depends on how big you want, how much money you want. And then when you come out, everyone you love is older or they're dead, but you're rich, so you feel good. That's how it works. You have to decide what's more important to you, money or time. All right. Well, thanks for participating in the Super Chat Challenge. I got 2 since I set the thing. Retod gave me a Super Chat. Said, hey, I just taxed myself, a tax I actually benefit from. Do you mean by giving me a Super Chat? Is that a tax? in the future, like the goal would be that you're constantly paying for everything in little tiny amounts. That's the goal that they have. Like you're just walking around and there's something, you're being charged for breathing air and stuff, going in places, just for small amounts. Your whole life should be economized, according to some. So you don't have a Netflix subscription. You just pay a little bit when you use it because it's connected to like a chip or something in your brain or in your body that monitors what you're doing, and you've allowed it to sync up with like a cryptocurrency account of some sort. And it takes micropayments from you for everything. You're running water, whatever it is. Sounds like utopia. I know. Then cars, you don't own any. You don't want to own anything because why would you? Elon's going to be basically behind that. I mean, the whole self-driving car thing. You're not going to own your car anymore, or you can own it and be an owner leaser. You can own it and rent it out. But then you would think people would just buy fleets of them if it's profitable. You don't have to do anything. Maybe clean the cars or something. But we're not going to own cars probably in the future. Many people, many people, if you can just rent one. Anyway, micropayments, brain chip, etc. But eventually they figure out how to program the brain chip to just switch you out of real reality into some kind of synthetic version, which you can't perceive the difference, where you're stuck. So that's the future we're looking forward to, in addition to being fantastically wealthy because of cryptocurrency. Those are the things we look forward to. All right. And doing the show every once in a while, having people join us. Buy some t-shirts. We have really nice ones. Truth Revolution Clothing, truthclothing.io. Oops, what the heck? 10 banners. Oh, there they are. Right here, truthclothing.io. If you want to donate another way that YouTube doesn't take 30%, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/lifttheveil. So cool. Thanks. However you found me today. Blessings. Trilogy says, do I have an email? Yes. It's lifttheveil411@gmail.com. That's my business email. And I think I get notifications when I get it. I'm not great with email. You can contact me on Twitter at lifttheveil411. Or you can text me at the work phone number 650-429-8294, 650-GAY-TAXI. You can text me there too. I'm kind of accessible, but email I'm just not that great at. That's all. It's kind of an old technology. I'm moving on from email. All right, everybody. See you guys at the next one. Okay, whenever that might be. It might be tomorrow around 4 p.m. Thanks. We made it through another day. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you at the next one. For now, that's what it is.